What's up, my peoples? This is Rob with Wise Life coming at you with another Friday Rideday. And today we're going to talk about spiritual muscles. Alright? Spiritual muscles. That's what came to me. And I'll go ahead and let y'all know that we gonna get into that new Lyle JD. You know what I'm saying? That knowledge is power. Because without knowledge, you can't build your spiritual muscles. Knowledge of what? Well, first and foremost, if we talking about spiritual muscles, gotta be things of the Ruwach, right? All right. So we talking about scriptural workouts, so to speak. All right. There's different ways to work out. All right. In Colossians chapter 3, it talks about making part of your purpose to serve YaHuWShuWA. All right, and with all your heart, do everything you do heartily unto YaHuWShuWA. It also talks about in there that you'll be writing psalms and hymns and metaphors and melodies and you'll be just singing spiritual songs to him. And you ain't got to record it like some of us do. You don't have to put it out and make videos and all that stuff. You ain't got to do that. But you are supposed to. It's mandatory that you be singing to him. All right, whether it be in your own words or whether it be in some other truth music out there that gives praise and honor and esteem to YaHuWaH and YaHuWShuWA. We supposed to be doing those things. That's one way to build your spiritual muscles. Another way to build your spiritual muscles is through reading scripture. All right, studying scripture, memorizing scripture. Another way to build your spiritual muscles is to fellowship with other believers. Proverbs 17 talks about iron sharpening iron. So we should be fellowshipping with one another, those who believe like us. And another way to build your spiritual muscles is to stand in the faith, stand for the truth. When you got people questioning you, you got people wanting to debate you and tear you down and mess up your confidence and stuff, you got to stand firm in what the words say, and you got to tell them what the words say and remind yourself what the words say and stand on it. That's another way to build your spiritual muscles. All right. And so there's other ways to build your spiritual. One of the biggest ways to build your spiritual muscles, prayer. All right. I have a saying that I say: pray hard, praise harder. All right. So that's another way to build your spiritual muscles, is to pray. And then praise goes right along with that. We should always be in worship and in prayer and praise to our ALahiym. All right, because we appreciate them. We know that they chose us. We didn't choose them. We know that they're merciful and they're patient. They're very patient. Think about it, y'all. Think about us. Think about our thoughts and some of our words and some of our actions. They're very patient. All right, we can't overstate that. YaHuWaH and YaHuWShuWA are very patient with us. All right. And so building your spiritual muscles is a necessity as we go forward in this truth. All right. And you can't build your spiritual muscles without the knowledge of the things I just mentioned. You got to have knowledge. Knowledge is also one of those mandatory things. Knowledge is like forgiveness. Forgiveness is mandatory. Humility is mandatory. All right. Service is mandatory. Well, knowledge is mandatory. All right. We got to try to build our Ruwach muscles upon the knowledge that we learn about just not only scripture, but our everyday things that happen in the world. You need to have knowledge of what's in the food. You need to have knowledge of what's in the air, what they spraying in the air through chemtrails and stuff. You need to have knowledge of what's in the water. Sometimes they put aluminum in our water. Sometimes they put fluoride in our water, chlorine in our water, just all the different things that are in our water. All the various things that are out there that affect our bodies, okay, and affect our mind states. We supposed to stay sober until YaHuWShuWA. It's hard to be sober when you got all these chemicals in your lungs and in your bloodstream. So with spiritual, building your spiritual muscles, we gotta have that knowledge. We gotta know what's going on. We gotta understand that the evil that happens in this world doesn't have a color. Don't get caught up in the racism and bias and judgmental things. We gotta know that those things happen because of evil and because of wickedness that is in this world. The world is given over to the enemy. All right. The kingdom that's coming is what we're striving for. We're just strangers and sojourners here. We're pilgrims. All right, we're pilgrims here, and we're waiting for the great day of YaHuWaH to happen by way of him sending YaHuWShuWA. So with all that being said, let's get into that new blazing hot track from Lyle JD. All right, featuring Followers of the Way and Lyfe. And shout out to my brothers and sisters out there in the truth. Shout out to Aunt Kelly. All right. Shout out to Kales in Arizona. All right, for supporting the Friday Rideday. Shout out to Lyle JD himself and Lawrence. Okay. Just all my various brothers and sisters out there. I wanted to recognize you because in Shaul's writings, he recognized a bunch of the brethren in many of his writings. So I'm showing love. I pray that you stay in YaHuWShuWA. All my brothers and sisters out there, you know who you are. And hopefully the family will continue to grow in this truth. But let's get into it. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Something happened. Nope. All right. My bad. All right, you know what time it is. Ride with me. Yeah. Get out through there, Lyle. Do your thing.
So many lies in the world that we live in. So many wolves walk around in the sheepskin. How can you tell the difference when they all sound the same? They kill the innocent, to them it's just a little game. They give a damn about who they hurt. They're trying to get this money, fame,
fortune, and power.
Walking in the shadows of the dark places. Their history books are tainted with different faces. How many times must I tell you that
Jesus not his name? Tell him again,
the only king.
Yeah.
I guess you don't really want to know.
Knowledge is power. Yo. I love this hook. This hook is blazing. The lyrics is blazing too, but this hook, man, is so catchy. Yeah. The fear of YaHuWaH is the beginning of knowledge. You start living in the truth, you become more conscious. Eyes open to the lies that was forced on. Prophesy conclusions that are foregone. Detox from the brainwash. Don't believe everything you hear of what you've been taught. Can't you see what's happening to our people? Possessing no unity. We're not unified. And I ain't talking about race. We need to be unified to serve the Father. Yeah. Knowledge and power.
You know you have to search with all your heart and all your soul. You know you have to search with all your heart and all your soul. Now if you didn't
Jazz, you went off, young lady. Hey, I'm gonna let you tell it though. Do your thing.
Sister Jazz, let's go.
All the wisdom in the world refuse to understand. You never make it to his promised land. Your heart's full of blockage. Practice can be hostage, mentally in bondage. Only way to be set free is with his knowledge. This Ruwach fire gonna burn your behind.
Ruwach fire.
This language so distinguished, we beseech thee. Upon your ear to hear, judgment day is drawing near. Take heed to the waters while you can. Our message crystal clear, been delivered, not considered. YaHuWaH's name, a strong tower. Knowledge is power.
You know you have to search with
all your heart and all your soul. You know you have to search with all your heart and all your soul. From the shores of to bumper today.
If you seek, then you will find.
Bumper to bumper.
Oh, if you ask, you will receive.
You gotta believe, yeah. Wonderful job, Lyle. Wonderful job, Jazz. Much love to my family. Hey, Lyle, I appreciate you allowing me to be on this track. Jazz, I appreciate you always being obedient as well. And may YaHuWah continue to use us to further his kingdom. I'm just trying to get to the Shama, y'all. The Shama, new Shama and new Arets. That's what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to be obedient. I'm trying to be in that pocket that YaHuWah got me in. I'm trying to stay there, stay in my lane. All right. I don't have any direct quarrels with anybody. You know what I'm saying? If anybody has beef with me, that's their issue. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even know where that just came from. It just came out, but it is what it is, I guess. All that being said, though, spiritual muscles. Build your spiritual muscles. All right? Prayer, you can build your spiritual muscles. Praising, you can build your spiritual muscles. Studying scripture, memorizing scripture, you can build them. Fellowship, you can build them. Songs and hymns and things of that nature, you can build them. Fasting, you can build them. All right? Just do everything scripturally. Do what the word say. All right? Be ye doers of the word, like it talk about in James 1. And never satisfy the lust of the flesh. All right? Because the flesh will get you off track with those spiritual things. And you'll end up being flabby in the spirit when you should be muscular in the spirit. All right, y'all. That's it from me today. I hope you guys enjoy. May YaHuWah get all praise through his son YaHuWShuWA. And as I always say, Shalom and Shalom.